And good morning. Wasn't the weekend gorgeous? 54 degrees out there this morning, Jamie.
Well, it certainly was. If you're a pool boy like me, had to get it up and running while she's laying out enjoying the rays. I'm sitting up in the shade, coming down, cleaning the pool, getting it ready. Still much too cold to go swimming in. But anyway, good morning. I'm Jamie Cooper. Thank y'all for getting up with us on a glorious looking Tuesday morning here in Athens, Alabama, because this is Athens in the AM. Coming up on today's program, Gloria's got a lot of guests coming in for the second half hour, plus City Council President Jimmy Gill will be with us discussing what happened last night at the City Council meeting. And as Gloria just told you, the weather is going to be absolutely fantastic. Got a lot of things to talk about this morning. Y'all know that the Civil War, and I'll talk about this morning, started 150 years ago today down in Fort Sumner, South Carolina. I'll talk about that in a little bit coming up. But it was a beautiful weekend. Of course, the Masters was on TV. A master and a disaster all at the same time. We'll talk about that later on this morning, too. Getting ready for a little football action coming up this Saturday. Auburn and Alabama both have their A-Day games. One's on ESPN 360, and the other one's on ESPNU. Of course, you know, I'm going to talk about the Mighty Tide, because I predict right here on this program, Alabama will win the national championship this year. No doubt about it. We're loaded. But anyway, we'll talk more about that as we go along. If you'd like to make a comment this morning, you can keep it to yourself. Or Frank is in here this morning on the phone, 230-4988. Or you can text my current assistant, Gloria Cooper, at 603-4848. If you got something going on, a lot of things planned for this weekend. Earth Day festivities. Lynn Hart will be with us later this week. Also, we'll talk about that coming up soon. Right now, y'all hang on. Let's get the weather, because that major storm turned out to be just maybe a little high wind and a little rain yesterday.
It sure did. So hopefully no one saw any bad weather out there, but it's 54 degrees out there right now. Feels quite nice. You may want to grab just a little sweater. I don't know. It sure was a beautiful weekend today. Not quite as warm. High temperatures of 71, low of 44. Partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow 74 for your high. Full sunshine. Low temperatures of 49. The rest of the week looking mighty fine too. Until Friday, then we do have some thunderstorms in the forecast, and then back to a beautiful weekend. I sure do hope so, but with cooler temperatures. Do want to say Decatur close to record high. National Weather Service officials will determine today if the 103-year-old record was broken Sunday. It sure did get mighty warm. 86 degrees, I think, was the high that we felt. And a couple announcements to get out here this morning. West Limestone Volunteer Fire Department is having an Easter egg hunt on April 16th, noon till 4 p.m. Events include egg hunt, egg relay races, egg toss, all that good stuff. You can call me for additional information on that if you like.
All right, if you got anything going on we need to know about, 603-4848. I talked to County Commissioner Bill Dawes earlier last week, too, and asked him when the Owens Community Center celebration was going to be. He said he and Miss Helen Duncan would let us know soon when that date would be, in case a lot of y'all are asking. And we're going to talk about Judge Davis in a little bit, too. Don't forget, at 2 o'clock this Sunday down at the Event Center from 2 to 5 or 2 to 4, I believe, is you know, he's retiring, I think, on the 17th. And he may be with us next week, so we'll see about that. All right, as I just told you, it was 150 years ago today, Fort Sumner, friend versus friend, at 4:30 a.m., an hour and a half ago, April 12th, 1861, 150 years ago today, the first cannonball whistled across Charleston Harbor, igniting the war that killed more than 600,000 Americans.
Wow.
600,000. And not far away, of course, Athens was involved. Didn't they have a thing on the square this past Sunday, too? But the little church down in this side of the Huntsville Times, Cambridge United Methodist Church, constructed in 1818, Limestone County, saw its church yard used by Confederate soldiers and was destroyed by the Union troops when they gutted it. The church obviously is on the Hallelujah Trail of Historic Places. That's right there in Belmina, right across the railroad tracks, and a beautiful, beautiful facility down that way.
It's a pretty picture.
All right, let me update y'all on the paper this morning. Everybody's talking, or a lot of you Bama fans and Auburn fans talking about the Brett Callaway fiasco from over in Russellville when he'd been a commitment to Alabama, then switched to Auburn, now back to Bama. According to what the person from Auburn says, Harlan Peaches Winston said he never received money to direct Russellville High School Brett Callaway to Alabama. Appearing on a Mobile radio show, Rivals.com, Auburn writer Jeffrey Lee accused an Alabama fan in Russellville of a petrochemical energy company of giving Callaway a car paying his adopted father $2,500 and helping him pay his mortgage. Alabama compliance officers traveled over there Friday to look into the allegations. According to his stepdad here, nobody gave me no thousands. Nobody gave me no thousands. That's the quote. Nobody paid my mortgage. I haven't received no lump sum. I didn't receive $2,500. Brett does not even have a car. Huh. He says, I go to the Russell School and pay his lunch and his adopted brother monthly. That's what's in the paper this morning. So everybody's wondering about Alabama football. That's what they're saying
no money
this morning.
No problems.
All right. I want to talk about one of our clients here on the program, Tom Clem. Great folks in that Clem Tire, right here on 72, across from Champion Chevrolet and Madison right there on 72, and then on University Drive.
Easy to find.
We did that commercial with them about the hair.
We did. And that was the first time they had ever been on TV.
Yeah, well, and since 1952. Well, Tom was in Dallas recently for Goodyear, and this is their new commercial. I just want to share this with y'all right now.
For over 50 years, NASCAR has chosen Goodyear tires. And the tire dealers you choose for great service trust Goodyear too. Their experience in tires and service inspires the expert advice they pass on to you.
Come see the tire experts at Clem Tire Company or visit us at cleminc.com.
Goodyear, more driven.
Look at him.
I just got the spot in, so we haven't fixed it yet. But way to go, Tom. Good-looking spot. Clem Tire. Service department and everything down that way.
Good guys.
Yeah, they are super good guys, too. All right, I'm going to do a little, I'm going to save that other Dear Jamie for later, but you people sometimes that write into Dear Abby, have you got nothing else better to do? Dear Abby, a few months ago, I ran into an old friend at the spa. She told me to call her and let's get together. I have called her, but she never seems receptive to actually getting together. She called me once and invited me over to sit by the pool, but that's been the extent of it. Should I stop putting out the effort?
Take a hint.
Get some friends, man. Well, I just don't understand. Is that all you people have got to do is write in and ask some stupid question?
Maybe
if
they
the
were
woman
bored
don't
that
want to hang out with you, go somewhere else.
Take a
Man,
hint.
is that your biggest worry of the day? Oh, I've made the effort to call, and they just didn't seem receptive to getting together. Move on. Who cares? Man, maybe something's wrong with you. Maybe you got bad breath or something. I don't know.
Coleman Dental.
Yeah, if you do, call Coleman Dental down that way. All right, as always on Mondays, we run me from 25 years ago, 25 years ago. It's the most popular feature we've ever had, the Country Rover. For those who remember me, Frank, you still haven't read that email from that 20-year-old.
No, I haven't. I need to
bring back
that
Country
this
Rovers.
week.
Of all the thousands of stories I did, actually I didn't do
Thousands.
I did hundreds of stories at Channel 31 for over 15 years. The most popular, probably the most popular story of all of them.
True.
Is the one I'm about to, the original story that ran in 1985 at the grand opening of Cooper Small Engine, and my brother Jeff still operates in New Hope. That's when they moved to their new location down there. This guy,
The grand opening.
it was the grand opening, is probably the most famous story of all the rednecks,
Out there.
however you describe it, just good old down-to-earth Alabamians.
We saw him, 10 years ago, and the first thing he did when he came up to the truck window was popped out his teeth.
Yeah, well, that tells
Still a
you the
character.
type of people I hang around. This story here, of all the Country Rover stories I ever did, is the most popular one. And now
We shall see.
I'm going to share it with y'all one more time, as like you ain't seen it before. As I go to break, we'll come back with ZNN in just a moment. We've got a house full coming in here later on this morning. This is the famous Chainsaw Man.
Oh, boy.